away from going for that no gas 4-queen build at the beginning, something along those lines. He is staying away from gas for now. I have once in this tournament seen Leenock go for double gas out of this after just a 3rd queen and still put on like heavy roach pressure at the beginning.
That was a beautiful game.
Yeah, I agree with you though. I think we're going to see maybe a little bit longer game here, although he's already making 8 lings in total.
Yeah, that's something where he doesn't want to show all 8. He wants to kill his SCV. He wants to secure both towers with these first 4, and then he'll bring the other 4 along. Well, actually 8 more.
Yeah.
So, wow, 12 lings right off the bat.
Very interesting, because if Polt keeps this orbital command at the top here, he's going to have a perfect wall. And even now, he can still just drop down 1 more structure, and he is actually going to be A-OK. And he has a few Marines out to do this. So what is Leenock hoping to accomplish with these first 12 lings?
All right, so well, Leenock's hoping that there's no bunker. He's going to find that. Then he's hoping there's no wall at the front. And, you know, in this game, there isn't a full wall there. There's not a second supply depot guarding that. And these 2 Marines are in danger. They're going to chase these 4 Marines. They think those 4 Marines are the only things made, because in general, they are. Leenock, though, he's going to get an SCV kill with those 4 lings. He's going to try and lure these 2 Marines out of position so the other one's coming from the side.
Oh, and it's revealed, and he has to sacrifice a couple of his Marines just to get this done. So now he has to hold on for a little while.
Gonna get the bunker?
Yeah, the supply depot off the left-hand side is taking so much damage. He's putting another one right behind that, and already Leenock has done a considerable amount of damage here. A very smart decision. There's actually an engineering bay coming up because of how quickly it accumulates hit points. It can hold on for a little while longer. But another supply depot off to the right-hand side is actually taking more damage. SCVs get to it just in time, and Polt holds on, at least for the time being. He's pumping out a couple of units. Now he has a Hellion, and he pushes back his Zerglings.
Wow, what an amazing, really, really early game pressure by Leenock, and a really nice hold. Throwing down an engineering bay, throwing down 2 supply depots, healing just the last second for those SCVs. This is going to be a hectic game.
It is going to be a hectic game, and that did basically what Leenock wanted, because look how far delayed now Polt is. He's trying to put up whatever he can. He's putting down a 3rd command center so he can start to catch up on economy and workers, but that kind of put him in a rough spot.
Yeah, if you look at supplies, it's 54 supply to 30, which isn't that big of a deal, because there are 3 command centers up, 3 mules, and if you look at the workers, it's actually 41 workers to 22, 41 drones to 22 SUVs, so that is actually a pretty big deal. So Leenock getting another early game advantage off of making a weird choice of so many lings, or a good choice.
Yeah, you know, but Polt's doing something that we actually saw out of both our Terran players last night in Code S round of 4. He's deciding to put down 2 factories. He's got one with the tech lab here in a second. We may see that 3 Hellion at a time big push in just a second with Blue Flame. We'll see if he decides to go for something different. Polt is a kind of player who can throw some weird looks at you, but that's what I would be expecting, at least at this point.
Yeah, and Leenock making a macro hatch before his 3rd. This is something I've seen a lot from Leenock. In this sort of play, his goal is to get a whole bunch of drones off of this, saturate his 3rd base very quickly when he makes it, and to just have a surprising amount of units. Because most Terrans will think, well, the 3rd base isn't up, that's just their 3rd hatchery. They can't have that many larvae. But Leenock, in the meantime, has been saving up larvae, doing a whole bunch of extra things with that 3rd macro hatch. That's such a rare treat for Zerg.
And Leenock was always the kind of player that would sit back. We had a cheer for a drone killing an SUV.
Yeah.
Well done. You know, Leenock's always been a player who's been comfortable with sitting back on fewer bases, a little bit higher tech pressuring. I mean, historically, about a year ago when he started to become popular, was known for, you know, going for very, very aggressive 2-base bailing muta strategies. Obviously, that's fallen out of favor, but he's still in his comfort zone whenever he can tech up a little bit and put on pressure off of a bit fewer bases.
Yeah, for sure. Leenock here isn't making a Roach Warren. He's going really quickly into Infestor. He's going to have a Baneling Nest and kind of a semi-wall at his front. Something you want to look at here is going to be all around this timing. These Hellions are moving out right now from Polt. They're going to, I believe, have, oh, no, Blue Flame isn't even being researched.
Yeah, so he decided to swap on to the Tech Lab factory, but didn't end up using it. And now look at this, those same links that were at the beginning of this game are actually forcing back all of the Hellions right now and just causing a little bit of mayhem. Not going to do all that much damage, but again annoying. Again, delaying these Hellions that Polt wants to be pressuring his opponent with right now.
Yeah, and the big deal is seeing too, whenever he got in with those links, he saw that there weren't a whole bunch of Marines. There is a build where there's a whole bunch of Hellions, a whole bunch of Marines, and that's almost an all-in. So he wanted to see if there were a bunch of Marines there. He sees they're not. So he, in this case, is going to assume it's not a Hellion Marine pressure right away.
We do have an additional 3 barracks being put up right now, so there's going to be a lot of damage put on, but Leenock's morphing in some Banelings, and he's just trying to keep Polt off his rhythm once again, and so far he's done a pretty effective job at doing just that, especially now that the Infestor count is starting to be added onto. Pathogen glands are far enough along that he can begin those. We'll see what damage he can do. There's not a lot here to defend, just a couple of Marines on the high ground, and these Banelings are not going to be stopped.
Yep, they're going to bust down those supply depots on in.
And that siege tank is a goner if it can't be repaired up immediately, and boom goes the dynamite. It falls. The Hellions are actually just stuck out in the middle of the map. They haven't decided to retreat at the moment. More workers are going down. The 3 supply depots killed is so annoying, and Leenock is just continuing to disrupt. Polt wants to be getting in there and putting on pressure. He wants to be killing workers, but so far he just can't do it.
Yeah, he's throwing him off his rhythm. That's one of those things. Polt probably would like to have used these Hellions. He'd like to have been microing them there, doing them or using them for something, but he had to be focused back at home. He had to be looking at that defense.
And look at that. Polt actually knew the exact middle of the circle of the creep there and started targeting down the destructible rock so that he could kill it without wasting a scan. That's incredibly heads-up play.
That is. That's something that we don't see a lot of people do on Cloud Kingdom, and now maybe we will, hopefully.
All right, well, 5 more Banelings are morphing in. Does Polt have any more to defend behind this? He does have a siege tank now, so, and look at this. The floating orbital command is actually going to pick up on these units, so we'll see if Leenock decides to stop with this, if he's going to keep on moving in. Polt, though, with the double factories already, has been able to infest into his mech pretty effectively. And already a couple of the Banelings being burrowed just to make sure any transferring SCVs over to that new third are taken care of.
Look at this. 2 burrowed Banelings. The Marines walking right over them.
Oh!
We didn't quite get to see it, but a whole bunch of Marines died right there.
Yeah.
Walked over the Banelings. There's still 3 more left as a trap, and there's still a burrowed Zergling there, which is going to prevent the command center from landing too early.
And Leenock has always been good about burrowing Banelings. He's always been good about catching people off guard and running around with Zergling counterattacks like we're seeing this entire game. This is trademark Leenock play. And so far, he's been pulling it off perfectly.
Yep, I thought he was getting a little bit underestimating of Polt by trying to be attacking with those Banelings again. But no, he knew just what to do to burrow them in such amazing places. And to get set up now for this next pressure poke.
Oh, and Fungal Growth catches a few of the Hellions. The Zerglings coming in to surround the remainder of those. Are there any more units out on the map? It's like actually that, you know, that was okay for Polt, I have to say. He lost all his Hellions. That's really bad for him. Leenock wasted a lot of Lings, though, and did throw out a lot of Fungal Growth, so he didn't exactly do any economic damage there. And Polt, of course, moving into pure tank Marine now.
So something there is interesting. If you look at the Terran and how they produce, they only have so many factories. You usually want those factories to be making tanks. And gas is a lot of they can't make too much without a lot of gas. So by killing those Hellions, it's actually killing time spent that could have been making tanks. But now Leenock's just going, making a whole bunch of Piston Terrans. He knows there aren't that many tanks because there were so many Hellions there.
Yeah. But it looks like there's still enough in decent enough positions that once again he's going to be able to hold back without really taking any economic damage. But of course, this was just energy for units now. So those infestors are out of energy. That is annoying. Leenock will have to sit back and wait for a little while. But if you look at his tech path, he's going up into Greater Spire already. He's going to be moving very far ahead, and he's not planning to move out again until those infestors are going to be back at basically full energy. And look at this, the Zerglings just continue to roll through. They've already picked off 1 tank. Again, good spread on these units. 2 tanks do eventually fall, and that's very annoying for Polt to have to deal with. So, you know, I mean, even if Leenock isn't trading the most cost effectively with these Lings, he doesn't care. He's taking the whole map. He's keeping his opponent pinned on 3 bases. He can't move anywhere.
Keeping him defensive, still getting upgrades, maybe even slowing down the Terran upgrades because he's kind of panicking a little bit, thinking he needs more units. Can't spend the money on upgrades.
Oh man, those burrowed Banelings are still sitting there. The Marines are so close, and they get destroyed. So once again, I'm sure Polt's just sitting back like, are you kidding me right now?
Right before the turret finished, too.
And, oh, I know, that was a turret that was being built right in front, wasn't it? That's so
Very
annoying.
smart decision to use them right then.
Well, a lot of burrowed infestors are making their way around the side. The Greater Spire is very nearly finished, and resources are aplenty for our Zerg players, so he's going to be able to morph in a lot of Broodlords in just a second.
Yep, just like you said, he has a whole bunch of resources banked. He has a lot of infestor energy as well. I really like how Leenock is just kind of preventing him from moving out too easily. You know, just delaying him a little bit, hopefully waiting for those Broodlords to be able to come out, help him defend, and then push back Polt all the way to his base.
There's almost no anti-air out there for Polt. He needs to be able to get a read on these very, very soon. He actually scans and sees the infestors running away, so he's tearing a few Marauders after those. But will the Marauders get close enough to see the Broodlords? Not yet. And you see there's only 8 Marines being produced at a time. There's not a single Viking on the map. And look at this, infested Terrans getting dropped down. Polt's decided that now is his time to try and strike, but he's moving right into the newly formed Broodlords, and he doesn't have a lot of anti-air to back this up.
Yeah, Leenock played this really well, getting these Broodlords at an earlier time than normal. even having, like, not making that many banelings, only made the few to burrow, and now he's just able to push back Polt.
Oh man, and the fungal growths were fantastic. The rest of the units are pinned down. The Broodlords can just keep advancing their way across the map. Polt's trying to rally in whatever he can, but now he's down 60 supply. He's still on those same 3 bases. He's mined out of his main. His economy is going down, and he has no answer to what's in the air.
Exactly. Leenock's just putting the pressure on. From here, I can't see him running back. Just going to push these Broodlords, going to rally in a consistent stream of Zerglings. These Festers still have enough energy to land Fungals, throw Infested Terrans. If there are a few Vikings out, Vikings aren't even being made. He's just making more Venevacs. This Leenock managed to kill the last Venevacs with some nice Fungals and Infested Terrans. Polt's going to have to do some serious micro. He's not even on the map to be able to harass the Zerg back at home, which is what you see a lot of times in this situation.
Well, and Polt especially is the kind of player who wants to get on the map and do some drops. It's kind of his trademark. It's what he does. One Broodlord is finally going to fall. He's taken out a lot of the energy from those Infestors, but if he only gets one Broodlord, that alone is not going to be enough. Still, look at that. Just 10 Marines out there to 11 Infestors. 4 Broodlords still remaining. There's GG. Leenock takes the set 2-0. He moves into the winner's bracket finals to face Violet.
Nicely played by Leenock.
Yeah, that was just really smart the whole entire way. His entire game plan was focused around keeping Polt pinned into the 3 bases that he had initially started with, or 2 actually, as it was at the very beginning. He prevented a third for so long.
It was a seminar on how when you get an early lead, to follow it through, to keep pushing your advantage, keep getting a little more advantages after each time.
Yeah, so that is actually that set in the books. We're going to move to our next one here in just a second, which is going to be MVP Sniper, now a GSL Code S finalist, going up against Liquid Hero.
Hero!